This man, right, he was like, he was talking to me about all these things I can do for him and his brand and stuff. And I was like, I'm not really interested in doing that for you. And he said this one comment.
Wait,
in
all the
particular.
things you could do for him?
Yes.
And pause. I want to put this in there too. Creatives tend to get taken advantage of for their creative, like, with people who are in relation to them. Like, oh, like, you're a graphic designer, can you make this thing for my wedding? Like, like I've been asked to do envelopes for people's weddings before for free. I'm like, go look up how much that costs, because you should be paying me a lot. And you're asking me to do it for free because I'm a creative and I'm your friend.
Or you're your friend, or like they feel like they have like some type of in or something. He was the exact same way. And so one comment that sent me is he was like, you know, when I asked, like, you know, what you looking for? Like in the beginning of talking, like things that you say. Right. And so I asked that, and he's like, you know, I'm just looking for a woman that can like take my picture. Well, and I literally looked at my phone like, what? that was my face. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but I am here for way more than just a picture. Like, I'm not here to make your gram look up. First of all, I'm trying to get my gram to look up and pop in, let alone yours. Yeah. And then that's when I was like, he must be also stuff. and then he tried to explain to me.
I almost said something super offensive, but I'm so glad I didn't. I'm like, thank you, God.
He tried to explain to me how his way of thinking was just so expound and so big that, and he's like, so it's okay if, he literally told me, he was like, it's okay if you're not grasping onto what I'm saying. And I was like, huh?
That's where I would be like, cue to Peppa Pig.
And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I said, I was like, you know what? I told him, I was like, you might be right. I'm gonna have to let you go. And that's exactly what I said, and I never called him back. And like, but that was like a little bit more of an extreme example of like, and that we didn't date. Like, we only talked for like a couple of weeks. And his, like, I feel like I can see some of that in other creatives in a dating relationship, is that they really value their own creativity above you being a human being. Yeah. So I have a lot of times been like kicked in the face, y'all, because I did not come before.
Give me names, I'll go get them.
You know some, okay?
I'll get them, girl.
Like, they, you know what I'm saying? Like, their mindset, you know what I'm saying? All this comes way above how we treat other human beings. You know what I'm saying? And if we're talking about flakiness, that's where I find the flakiness. Is that, or like, I'm just not at that level you are yet, and so like, why can't you just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the expectation, if they're way farther than me in their journey, the expectation that's put on me is really extreme. Yeah. When like our resources, one, might be different, our connections might be different. Really, to progress a lot of things, you gotta have both. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, in a way that you want to do it. And so like, just because like, okay, let me try and keep, because I feel like if I say too much, folks are gonna know what I'm talking about. But like, anyways, and then I've also had people who were like on the same level. But, and I feel like that's a little bit easier, is like dating people who are in a similar space like on their journey. Yeah. Where I feel like with Let's Talk About It, I feel like I have substance of some sort. Sometimes I don't know where it came from, but like I do. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Anyways, but like, and I feel like that can carry me if we get this right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And vice versa. If he is got something going for him that can like carry him, I like that. You can have a 9-to-5, all that stuff, but like I like to be there for my man and his creativity journey, and I just the way that I would want him to be there for me. Doesn't mean I'm about to be a rapper. You know, it doesn't mean
you don't gotta be the same thing.
Okay, like maybe I will.
Well, I will say there's a difference between a healthy creative and then like a toxic creative.
And I feel like
a lot of creatives are toxic. Yeah. Well, because a lot of people become creatives to kind of cope with the pain that they've gone through.
That's true.
And then they never like truly get healed from it. And that's why my songs personally as a musician have went from like super dark for like many years to finally like this revelation of like, there's so much more to life. And like, and the moment you start actually doing it, I think you're just so busy doing it that you don't have like even a spectrum in your mind, unless you're trying to like, you know, get someone to work with you of like, you're here and I'm here. And I'm like, I'm trying to write this song. I'm trying to build this book. I don't. Cool. Let's just be cool. Like, and so I think those people
cheer each other on.
You're here, I'm here. My thoughts are so elaborate. Are like so prideful because they're not doing it.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Is like, because obviously there's different levels to a creative journey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
every time.
Like naturally, you're farther ahead. You've been doing it longer than I have. But when I'm at the level you're at, there's going to be people who haven't been doing that that long.
And still people ahead of you that you're looking at and you're like, wow, like I'd love to be able to function like that.
And that's why like we can actually take that and use that to work together and like not tear each other down. And so I think like Gabby is someone who is a really good example of a creative who's farther ahead than a lot of her friends. And you still like take on people who are, you know, not as far along in their journey. And I'm not even talking about dating relationships at this point, just like in relationships. Let's talk about it. Like let's talk about it. You've had a lot of other creatives. Amber Wilson, she's been on a couple of times. You've helped her with, you know, getting some content for her social media, and you know, you've helped me as an illustrator and given me opportunities.
We just giving flowers.
I'll take the gas.
No, but it's true. And so like that's what like I think draws people in.
Gas is expensive.
Continue, girl.
What draws people in?
What draws people in to people like you is that, you know, you're like, yeah, come one, come all. Like, I don't have to prove that I'm better than you. Like, I think, you know, your work speaks for itself.
That's like, what I'm saying. You don't have to go into a room talking about helps to this, Martay music, that, But I mean, go ahead, give a plug. But like,
she doesn't have to because people are already talking. She'll walk into a room and like, I remember you were on a worship team at the House of Prayer, and you walked in one morning to your briefing, and they were watching your music videos and talking about, oh, Gabby, you're famous.
Oh my gosh.
And like people
just like my mom thinks I'm famous too.
Like people tell her that all the time. It's so funny because I've seen your journey a little more closely just because we work together, and so it's so funny to me when those moments happen to you, and I'm like, yes, that's right. Like people are getting it because I'm like a big fan too. I'm like, yes, Gabby. Like, like we're rooting each other on, and that's how it should be. Like, come on, creatives,
this is
quit tearing each other down.
Healthy example.
Well, when you realize that you're not your art, like for so long, I can speak for myself and say, as a creative, and I have friends in the industry, whatever you want to call it, the arena, that have dealt with the same thing, and for so long, I was so hurt by like so many things in life. Like my parents got a divorce at a young age, and so all I knew was like self-expression, and I had something to prove. Like maybe until I was like 26, I was like, I have something to prove. And like it was never spoken, it was just all inside of me, and I was constantly trying to like make this sound great and do this and dress like this, but like at the same time be myself, because I'm 4 on the Enneagram, so I'm not trying to like fit a mold. So that's been honestly my biggest struggle, like a 4-wing 3, right? 3s are great at looking at any system and on the Enneagram, and you can figure out the system and climb to the top. Like it's a gift, and it really is, and you can use it for good or bad. The 4 is like, I don't want to be a part of the system. Brain's so different. So I've had this inner tussle as a creative, and I still have it. I'm sure I could have like done something to get like 1 million followers somehow, some way. I just know it, but I can't sell out like that. And so, and I think even more, you say I'm so kind to people. Well, number one, because I got healthy, and I realized, wow, I am treating this creativity as some kind of way to prove myself. And then, honestly, I kind of lost motivation once I was like, well, God loves me. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know what to write about, because I'm
your
good.
Journey's your journey.
I'm like, I'm done. I don't have anything to prove. So it took me years to kind of jump back in. But at the same time, when I see creatives who are just starting, I remember what that feels like. When people tell you suck, or like, I've had people tell me, that sucks. And I'm like, your mom sucks. I don't say that. Like, you know, you just get mad. You want to say something. I never said that. I never said that. But like, you know, you don't have any reply. You know what I mean? And it just hurts. And like, you're broken, and you're trying to get there, and you're just doing all these things, and you don't know what to do. That's the biggest question mark. That's why I love being a part of Helps You. We get to help like creatives and people figure out a path to get to where they want to go.
Times 2.
Helping you help others.